Hello, how are you doing? I got a text from my granddaughter, and it says, JoJo, that lady killed my daddy. And in response to that, I told her God is still in control, and you remember that. I have 4 grandchildren that are at home now that has lost their daddy. I said that I would accept whatever the verdict was, and I'm gonna do that. But let it be known that I believe in my heart that Betty Shelby got away with murder. And I don't know what was in the mind of that jury, how they could come to that conclusion. There was precise evidence that said she was guilty. And I'm going on record to say to them, you did your job, but I'm wondering, what were you thinking about?
It's all right. All right, love.
Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot!
Emotional reaction from your dad, Tiffany.
Just do your response.
So
Do your response.
This is definitely a tough pill to swallow. The facts were there. All the elements of manslaughter was there. Terrence's hands were up. Terrence was not an imminent threat. Terrence did not attack her. Terrence did not charge at her. Terrence was not the aggressor. Betty Shelby was the aggressor. Betty Shelby had the gun. Betty Shelby was following him with his hands up. Betty Shelby murdered my brother. And after she murdered my brother, all of the officers involved with the Tulsa Police Department tried to cover for her. What I got out of this case is that a cover-up was exposed. A cover-up was exposed. And they walked by my brother to go check on Betty Joe. In the last few breaths of my brother's life, he laid there alone. And nobody held his hand. Nobody said, Terrence, or hey, are you okay? He had to lay there alone. And these are officers who are paid to serve and protect us. Paid and served to protect us. Trained to deal with people who are supposedly intoxicated or inebriated. But yet you use deadly force? No weapon was found. Terrence had just left school. Terrence had just left Tulsa Community College. Because he wanted to do something with his life. And I just thank God that he doesn't judge us as our sins deserve. So all of the critics that are out there who are trying to judge my brother's last statement was, God is going to get the glory out of my life. And I'm going to make sure that I don't rest until we get reform for this police department in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we change the culture of this corrupt police department. And I believe that all of those officers involved, they're going to be held accountable. Because this family right here, we believe in a higher power. We believe in a higher judge. And so now we got to go home. We have to go home and hug on his 4 kids and love on them and explain to them a system that's perpetuated so much injustice, a justice system that's perpetuated so much injustice. And I promise you, I won't rest until we break that chain. Let's go.
That's right.
I think for Attorney Crump and I, we're astounded that this jury could look at the evidence that was presented in front of them and allow Betty Shelby to walk out this courtroom. The most astounding thing for us as lawyers, as officers of the court, is to see the Tulsa Police Department admit under oath on the stand to what the DA determined as a setup from day one. From what the DA said was a way to make Betty Jo Shelby the victim. A way for what the DA stated as a cover-up for the death of Terrence Tafford Crutcher Sr., father of 4, twin sister to 1, son to loving parents. Let's not forget that Terrence is the victim here. It was Terrence that was killed in the street. And if one thing that we are thankful for in this night of injustice is that so much of what TPD has done in this case has been exposed in this court of law.
On the heels of Eric Gardner in New York, Michael Brown in Ferguson, Freddie Gray in Baltimore, the list just goes on and on of unarmed African American men being killed by white police officers, and they get away with it. I really thought that with the incredible job that the district attorney did in showing the lies and the cover-up of this investigation, that Tulsa would be the example that said all American citizens are granted their due process of the law. And it does not matter if you are a young African American man. Unfortunately, I was wrong.